Good morning, everybody. This is episode 47 now, and Barry, Phil, and Gus with you on a very steamy Monday. Well, I can tell you, you wouldn't want to be out there, viewers, today after 3 days of intense heat. So, guys, we would like to advise you, please stay inside, stay cool, stay hydrated. And joining me now in the studio is Gus. Good morning to you. Welcome to episode 47 today.
Good morning to you, Barry. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
And here's Gus to tell you what today's weather is going to be like and for the rest of the week. Let's open the show with that.
So right now, 10:30 in the morning, it's already 28 degrees, which is it's pretty warm. Today it's going to get up actually to a top of 33 at about 2 p.m. We're looking at 33 degrees. Wow. Tuesday, we're bumping it up again. It's going to be a top of 34. And then Wednesday, 33 again. So that's 3 hot days in a row. And then it cools right off. Thursday, it's dropping down to 22. Friday, down to 17. That's going to be a chilly one. And then the weekend, 18 and 20. So, yeah, you're looking at a hot start to the week and then a nice cool off at about Thursday.
So, you can see why people are getting sick, guys, because of the change in weather. So you may have heard on the news last night that a lot of people were in the Sydney Marathon across the coat hanger or the harbour bridge. Well, I call it the coat hanger because she looks like one. Okay, so if you know that it's going to be too hot for you to run anywhere, put your walk or run off until the evening, or unless you are up at 5 a.m. in the morning, you can do that. Okay, another way of avoiding too much sun is getting your jobs done very early in the morning from 7 a.m. if you've got your shopping to do. Some supermarkets are open from at 6 a.m. so you can go shopping then because the car parks are nice and empty then. Okay, and then once you've done your jobs, okay, then you don't have to worry. The golden rule, okay, during hot weather is okay, keep your home cool, keep yourself cool, keep yourself hydrated, etc. Here's Gus now for his opening sequence on this.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, the warm weather brings with it lots of good things because, you know, we might be a little bit sick of the cold, sick of, you know, potentially the rain, and we want to get outside and enjoy being outside. But obviously with that comes some dangers and comes some worries, and you just got to be mindful of that. And as Barry said, you know, pick the time of the day that you want to be doing those, you know, strenuous things, those things outside. If you can, get up early and do it in the morning, or if it works better, do it at night or, you know, in the late afternoon. But just you know, most importantly, when you are outside, when you are in the sun, stay hydrated, slip, slop, slap, make sure you cover up and just do all those important things.
So, on the subject of going outside, if you're going to the beach, make sure that you have everything like your hat, your sunscreen, your water bottle, a portable radio, a couple of towels, a couple of t-shirts, etc. And if you are at the beach, guys, swim between the red and yellow flags. Here's Gus.
That's right. Those are all very, very good things, Barry. Yeah, you know, a good beach day, it's part of the Australian summer. It's part of who we are, but it's also, you know, it also, just like everything in Australia, comes with its own dangers, comes with its own things you've got to be mindful of. You know, you mentioned a few of them. Come prepared. Don't just turn up to the beach and not have anything with you because you get caught out. And then when you're there, make sure that you're careful of the waves, careful of the water, and you're swimming between those flags.
So guys, it's great that you want to enjoy the sun, but guys, be really very careful out there, because the hottest part of the day, like we said on episode 45, I think it was, it's between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. because you don't want to be caught out, guys, caught out off guard, because if you've got been out in the sun, okay, and you've had no sun cream on and you've got bare skin, like I've got here, my skin is very fair, so that's why I'm not going out in the sun, unless I have sun cream, of course. And if you stay out there for an hour, you will burn, get sunburn, and you will know about it. Here's Gus.
Yeah, that's right. You know, that period that Barry mentioned, 11 to 3, it is the hottest part of the day. It's when the UV rays are their most active. So it's important, yeah, to be making sure that you stay out of the sun, because it's powerful, can do some damage, and you're not going to enjoy being burnt.
And your skin can blister as well, so guys, really be careful, especially if you are participating in a marathon such as the Sydney Marathon, which lots of people were doing yesterday, and sometimes it can become too much, okay? There were drink stations set up, first aid stations, people from the St. John ambulance were there, okay? So guys, it is really important that you are prepared for those heat. Here's Gus.
Yeah, that's right. There's a number of things that you can do to try and prepare for it. We've already mentioned a few of them, but it's just really, really important. We can't stress this enough to be mindful of not overexposing yourself to the sun, not overexposing yourself to the heat, and keeping up your fluids at all points during the day.
And don't overexert yourself either during this time, because again, the temperature may be a comfortable 25 degrees, but don't jinx it. Here's Gus.
That's right, and that's, that can be the tricky thing when you talk about sun protection. It may only be 25 degrees, but the UV is actually the important thing. So sometimes, even on those slightly cooler days, the UV is much higher, and that's what actually gets you burnt. But also, as Barry said, if it's only 25 degrees and you go, oh, it's fine, I can still go run a marathon, or I can go play a game of soccer, or cricket, or do something and exert yourself, you can still get caught out. So you just got to be mindful of that.
And another important rule we'd like to go over today on the show, and we'll cut to another shot with this, is not leaving kids or pets in hot cars. So that is the next subject we're going to talk about now. So that's the end of segment 1 on the show, segment 2 coming up. This is segment 2 now on episode 47, and segment 2 today is about the heat and what you should not do. Okay, do not, Gus and I repeat, do not leave anybody unattended in hot cars, okay? Because, like I just said, it may be a comfortable 25, but during the day it could get to a very uncomfortable 50 degrees, even with the windows closed. Here's Gus now for this.
Yeah, that's right. It's, you got to remember that cars are made of metal, and metal conducts heat. So if you leave a big metal box sitting out in the sun, it's going to get pretty hot. And I've done it myself sometimes, where maybe I'm at the shops with someone and they say, oh, I'm just going to run in and get a couple things, and I go, oh, that's fine, I'll sit in the car. And it doesn't take very long for it to get pretty hot. So you're just going to make sure that you can't be leaving any children, any dogs or any pets stuck inside.
So here are some tips, guys, for preventing deaths in hot cars. Take your children out of the car, bring them into a nice cool shopping center, give them a nice block or a nice cool drink to keep them cool, and make sure that they're well hydrated. Here's Gus.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All those rules that we have for ourselves of staying hydrated and staying out of the sun and staying covered and everything, that applies times a lot for kids and pets and stuff. You want to make sure that even if you think it's only going to be a couple of minutes, that's still not a good excuse. You got to take them out of the car, put them in a nice cool spot, make sure they've got a drink or something fluid with them.
Because you hear on the news about the rescue people having to break into the car to get the child out, and that is a no-no. So please do not be stupid or irresponsible. Play it safe, guys. If you're going to take your kids in the car, and make sure that the seat is nice and cool too. If it's going to be too hot for the child to sit on, place a towel on the back seat. Okay, so that the child does not sit on the hot seat. Here's Gus.
Yep, I've been caught up at that one a number of times. The hot leather seats, the black ones especially, obviously get a bit warmer. The seat belt is another one that can get very hot, and you don't notice. So again, it's those things. Everything that you think about yourself, you've got to make sure that you think about twice for your kids. Don't get caught out by that.
And especially with the dogs too, don't let them leave them in the hot vehicle. Because even with the windows shut, guys, you've got to be really careful. Now, I know we are babbling on about this, but people can do some really horrible things, and police may have to be called, and the person may be asked why they left the person in the car. Okay, and it's the same here at our day option services as well. You cannot leave a client in a hot bath on a day like this. Here's Gus.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Those buses, those big vans, again, it's just a big metal box that's going to get very, very hot and very stuffy. And yeah, you can't be doing that. You can't be, even if, again, you just think you're just popping in for just a quick trip. Nah, that's not good, it's not safe, and it's not fair, so don't do it.
And so you could get into serious trouble by not abiding by the rules. So for those that take our clients out on an outing, please consider the weather conditions. It may be a beautiful day like it is today, but please take the clients somewhere where it is cool, and take them to a shopping center or something like that. Please use your common sense out in the sun today, and we're going to show you tube sun cream right now and give you an idea of what this is. So this is a tube of sun cream, guys. Always carry that around with you at all times. Here's Gus.
Yeah, that's right. And as you can see on this one, SPF 50 plus, that's important. You can't just be getting any sort of sunscreen, but you want to get the highest SPF you can, because that's what's actually doing the protecting. It's also a couple other important things. It's 4 hours, can't really see that, but it is 4 hours water resistant. It's another one. If you're going to the beach, you put on your sunscreen, you got to make sure that the sunscreen you're putting on is water resistant, because if it's not, then you put it on, and the second you get in the water, it'll just wash right off, and it's useless.
And always choose a good sun cream, guys. Don't buy a cheap, crappy tube of sun cream which may not last. Here's Gus.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There are some things that people believe you can get away with buying cheap, crappy stuff, and it's fine. You just buy a new one when it breaks. But sunscreen is definitely not one of those things, because it's doing the most important job of protecting you and protecting your skin. So you can't go skimping out of that. You got to make sure you do it properly, you do it right, you buy the good stuff.
So at the beach, you must be careful, okay? You must take care of your belongings, lock your car, park your car somewhere where it's nice and shady, because like Gus said, the metal, it's like a tin box, okay? Because if something goes wrong with the car, it could overheat, and then the car won't start. Here's Gus.
Yeah, that's right. That happens. Thankfully, a lot of the more modern cars, they've got a lot of safety precautions inbuilt into the car to stop that sort of thing from happening. But you never know if it's left in a 40-degree sun, directly in the sun, then that metal is going to compound. It's going to be warmer than 40 degrees, and it really could. It could do some damage to the car. Maybe it'll overheat and you won't be able to start. But also, if you park it in the sun, even if it can start, that car is going to be very, very hot. So when you get in it, it might hurt. So yeah, got to make sure that you put your sun protection up on the inside. You park in the shade, and
make sure you've got good, cool seat covers to cover all the seats, because you need something cool to sit on in the car. Here's Gus.
Yeah, that's right. That's one of the good things you can do, is put a seat cover on, and that can help to stop some of those things we were talking about before. The seat belts or the chair, the seats themselves getting too hot and hurting your skin as you sit on them.
And make sure that you stay safe at the beach. Okay, if you or a group of friends are going to separate and go for a surf, okay, always follow the guidelines, swim between the red and yellow flags, okay, not outside. Here's Gus.
Yeah, that's it. We've said this a few times already, but we can't say it enough. Those red and yellow flags are there for a reason. The lifeguards are there for a reason, and you've got to trust them because they know that beach better than anyone.
And raise your hand if you're in trouble. Don't get caught in the rip. And it's the same with the backyard pool at home as well. We cannot say this enough on the show. It's great that you want to take the kids for a swim in the pool, but supervise them. Okay, make sure that they're safe. Have a life jacket handy, because that is very important if you or your child are going to go swimming. And never, I repeat, never, ever leave your child unattended in the backyard pool, because again, the paramedics get called to a lot of drownings. Here's Gus.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We spend a lot of time talking about the beach and talking about rips and waves and all that sort of thing, but actually I think you'll find that there are a lot more injuries and hospitalization and drownings that actually happen right at home in the backyard pool. It's sort of almost unknown killer. People don't think about it as much, but yeah, you got to be really careful. It can be really easy if you're not watching for your kid to fall in. You don't even realize. So
and get ready to ditch your shoes and socks as soon as there's trouble. And have a spare set of socks if you happen to get your socks wet. Here's Gus.
Yeah, I'd even say that potentially don't ditch your shoes and socks, but just jump in straight away, because the most important thing is saving your kids. If your shoes get a bit wet, if your socks get a bit wet, that's okay, as long as your kids are fine.
And you can always change your socks afterwards. Okay, so the most important thing, if your child is not breathing, or even at the beach, always have someone ready to call 000 for an ambulance. Get them to make the phone call and tell them to come straight back. Here's Gus.
Yeah, that's right. I think it actually is the law that you have to have one of those resuscitation charts visible at your pool somewhere that shows you the doctor's ABCD, shows you how to do CPR, shows you what to do. But the first thing in any situation is you said, danger, and send for help. You're going to make sure that you're looking after yourself, but you're sending for help. You're sending for the professionals. That's 000, and then you go from there.
And have someone wait for the ambulance as well, because they may not know where you are. So it's always important to give the ambulance call taker the exact address of where you are, which beach you are at, which swimming complex you are at, and guys, always keep the pathway clear, so that when the ambulance does come, okay, keep the path clear. Here's Gus.
Yeah, that's right. It's really important if, as Barry says, if you're in a home, or you're at the beach or somewhere, that when you make that call, that you also send someone, to go find the ambulance, to show them where you are, and you clear a path. You get, there's people around you to help out or whatever you need, because you can't waste any time in a situation like that.
And always have your mobile phone on, and give your mobile phone number. So if the ambulance service, the attending ambulance, okay, is trying to locate you and they can't find the beach, they can ring you and find out where exactly the beach is. Here's Gus.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, yeah, you said it all there, Barry. You know, sometimes you can't give them good directions, but as long as they can get in contact with you and you can talk them through it, then that's important.
Well, now it is time to talk about daylight saving, and we might even finish off with a couple of recipes. So that's segment 2. The third and final segment is coming up. Our third and final segment today on the show, we have a recipe idea for you, a recipe to share, and it is called roasted vegetable cannelloni. Now, cannelloni, guys, is like a lasagna, okay? Now, picture this, okay, as lasagna, but it's really not. Cannelloni is stuffed with meat, chicken, or vegetables, okay? So, what you've got to do, we'll read out the recipe now, okay? And the first ingredient, 60 grams of butter, 1 large leaf, cut into 1 centimeter pieces, 200 grams of purchased char-grilled eggplant, 200 grams of purchased char-grilled orange sweet potato, and 1 cup of 125 grams of firmly packed cheddar cheese, half a cup, or is that a quarter of a cup there? A third of a cup of plain flour, 1 liter of milk, 6 fresh lasagna sheets, okay? And step 1, preheat the oven to moderately hot. Sorry about that, everybody. Get 200 degrees to 400 degrees, gas mark 6. And lightly grease a large ceramic dish, 28 centimeter to 18 centimeter times 5 centimeter. Melt 20 grams of the butter in a saucepan. Add the leek and cook stirring on medium heat for 8 minutes until softened. Meanwhile, chop the eggplant and sweet potato into 1 centimeter pieces and place on board. Mash with a fork and half a cup of the 40 grams of the cheddar. Step 2, melt the remaining butter in a saucepan over medium heat. Stir in the flour and cook for 1 minute or until foaming. Remove from the heat and gradually stir in the milk. Return to the heater and stir until the sauce boils and thickens. Reduce the heat and simmer in 2 minutes. Season with salt and freshly ground black pepper. Stir in 1.5 cups 375 ml of the sauce into the vegetable mixture, adding a little extra if necessary to bind it all together. Step 3. Cut the lasagna sheets
Widthways.
with ways to make into smaller triangles. Spoon some of the vegetable mixture along the center of each sheet and roll up. Complete with the remaining pasta. Okay? Complete with the remaining pasta sheets and vegetable mixture to make 12 tubes in total. And here's got to finish off the instructions.
Place the tubes seam side down in the prepared dish and spoon the remaining white sauce over the top until they're completely covered. Sprinkle with the remaining cheese and bake for about 20 minutes or until the cheese is golden brown.
Okay, so there you have it. There's the recipe of the week.
Oof.
So we hope that you've enjoyed today's show, guys. Thank you for joining us. And the message that I close each show with every week is the message: do not call 000 from stupid, trivial issues. Here's Gus with his closing sequence on this.
Yeah, that's exactly right. As we discussed, things starting to heat up and people are starting to get, potentially there might be some more and more people in trouble. But even so, it's important that, as Barry says every week, if you're feeling sick or you're injured or something, and you think that you can get yourself to hospital, you can still drive, or you've got a friend who can drive you. It is important to do that. It's also important to not be making stupid calls, making prank calls, and taking up the valuable time of those people on the phones, and more importantly, taking up ambulances for people who need them.
Because there could be me out there.
That's right.
And remember, think, is your urgency an emergency before you call? Because the wrong call that you make, guys, could cost somebody like me their life. Because as you know, I cannot drive myself to hospital, but those that can get themselves, get a taxi, get Uber or public transport. And just a reminder before we do go that daylight savings starts in a couple of weeks. So I will give you a reminder about that closer to that time. And just a reminder also that the October markets are coming up too. So if you haven't got anything planned, come along and see and buy some awesome stuff from the markets. At the markets, we'd like to see you here. So bring the kids there, it's going to be a lot of fun. So on that note, see you for the next episode, and that will be episode 48. So until then, have a great Monday. Bye-bye.